Until the end of July, July 31st, they are doing this amazing promotion. This is unbelievable. This has never been done in the industry. And here we are again with the regular weekly analysis, this week starting on the 28th of July. It's the last week of trading for July 2025. But before we jump into that, I want to let you know that last week I made a video about trading other people's money. And what that means is, of course, using a prop firm. Some of you know about that, some of you are trading prop firms, but it's where you have a funded account. And you can have a funded account from anywhere from 5K up to 500K. Can you imagine trading with a $500,000 trading account? But you can. And I highly recommend OANDA because I've researched a lot of different prop firms and they are popping up everywhere. But I recommend OANDA because OANDA has been in business for 26 years. They have 10 global offices. They are highly regulated. They are a broker that you can trust. And so that's why I recommend OANDA for your prop firm trading account. I've researched a lot of prop firms and they have absolutely the best terms and conditions. Until the end of July, July 31st, they are doing this amazing promotion. This is unbelievable. This has never been done in the industry. They are offering you the chance to hit a lower profit target. Normally you have to hit a high profit target, usually with 8% to 10% on some prop firms, before you pass the first evaluation and the second evaluation and then get your real trading account. But with OANDA, they are offering this amazing deal. You can hit a 5% profit target and pass the first phase of the evaluation. And then the second phase is also 5%. So can you imagine if you have a $5,000 prop firm trading account, you only have to get a profit of $250 to pass the evaluation. Come on, guys, it's a no-brainer. So learn to trade with other people's money with a prop firm trading account, and I recommend OANDA. If you want more information about them, go to my website, rickrayfx.com/OPT. And now jumping into the regular weekly analysis, of course, we start off with the high impact news. And I have 2 pages this week. It's a full calendar, some very, very important items coming out. And of course, being the first Friday of the month of August, that means that it's non-farm payrolls time. But before that, we have the ADP non-farm employment change, which is an adjustment or an estimation of what the Friday's results will be. But that's very, very important coming out. And then also we have the Canadian interest rate statement, and they're not projected to change the interest rate. And then later in the week, we have, of course, the FOMC. That's the federal funds rate. And you can see there it's forecast that there will be no change. It's 4.5% now and expected to stay at 4.5%. We just have the continuing ongoing drama between Trumpty Dumpty and Jerome Powell. And then finally Friday, of course, the non-farm employment change, and that's the most highly watched high impact news that comes out on a regular monthly basis. So a full calendar, be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times and be aware of all of these high impact news items. Now let's look at the profit and loss that I had from last week's trades, and it was a good week. It was a very volatile week, but it was a very profitable week. But of course, I always look at the DXY, that's the US dollar index, which is the US dollar compared with 6 major currencies, and it just continues to go down. We had that a bit of a retracement, a correction, a pullback, and it looked like, oh, the dollar's getting stronger, but we know that's not sustainable. The dollar continues to go lower and lower and get weaker and weaker. Now, it did have a bit of a recovery on Thursday and Friday, but I'm expecting to see prices below the 96 level. It's at 97.6 now, and but it's going to continue to weaken, continue to get lower. So that's the dollar index, and that's why I am bullish on the major pairs and also bullish on gold. So the first one we look at from last week is the gold, XAU USD. I had a buy limit. It didn't get down to there. You see the yellow arrow, that was Monday. It didn't come all the way down to the pending order that I gave you. But however, if you'd have been watching your chart, you could see that it was definitely turning bullish. And it just went up like a rocket, just for the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday until midweek. And then it did a complete, absolute 100% U-turn. And it looks like, to me on the chart there, we've got a divining rod. It looks like a divining rod. Does anybody know what a divining rod is? Have you ever used a divining rod? Maybe your grandfather used a divining rod. If you know what a divining rod is, just drop a comment below this video. I'd love to hear from you. But that's what it looks like. Anyway, if you were alert, watching your charts on a daily basis, you did very well with a buy early in the week until midweek, and then you could have turned around and started selling gold and also done very well. But the pending order that I gave you did not open. However, with the major pairs, the Euro-US, it did extremely well. It didn't quite get to the pending order, but you could have easily seen that that was bullish. And if you took the trade when it started out, you could have made 168 pips. And then the odd US, this one did hit the pending order during the Asian market on Monday, as soon as the market opened. And we got 125 pips out of that one up until Thursday. Then the New Zealand US also hit the pending order, and that gave us 107 pips. And then the pound US, that also pending order executed, and we got 185 pips on that one. And then the USD CAD did not come up to the pending order, but if you could have seen how that was bearish, very, very bearish on the Monday, and then really went crazy on Tuesday, you could have got 153 pips out of that one if you took it once it started to move down. But the pending order that I shared with you did not open. And then the USD JPY, I said sell. That was a market execution order, and that one did extremely well. In fact, that was our cash cow last week for 250 pips profit on the USD JPY. And just a reminder, guys, some of you inquire about what I use for support and resistance. I have an indicator that I use on MT4. I do trade MT4, MT5, and I also use Tradingview. But for those of you that are still using MT4, this is a great indicator which only works on MT4, not MT5 or Tradingview. It's a great indicator which I've been using for 10 years. You just install it, nothing to set up, and then it adjusts itself automatically every day, giving you 5 resistance zones and 5 support zones. So if you want that, the link is below this video. Absolutely free, no obligation. So let's look at the pending orders that I have set up for you this week, and I do all of this to try and help you make profit with your trading. And of course, remember that this is not financial advice. I make these videos strictly for educational purposes. It's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. The first one we look at is BTC, Bitcoin. On Friday, what in the world happened? It dropped $4,000. It was going gangbusters there for a while and kept bouncing off of 120,000, which is our resistance level now. But dropped a huge drop on Friday, but it started to come back up during the day, and now we're moving back up towards higher prices. But I expect to see a bit of a retracement early in the week, so I have a buy limit on Bitcoin at 117,300, and then take profit at 120,000. And then for the Euro US, as I told you, I'm bullish on the major pair, so I have a buy limit with the entry price at 1.1725 on the Euro US. With the odd US, a buy limit with the entry price at 0.6560. The New Zealand US, a buy limit with the entry price at 0.6000. And the pound US with a buy limit with the entry price at 1.3420. There's another one of those divining rods. Several of the currencies did that, and gold certainly did that. Divining rod. Yeah, what's a divining rod, by the way? Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. And then the USD CAD pending order is a sell limit with the entry price at 1.3715. And the USD JPY, a sell limit with the entry price at 147.75. Let it retrace just a little bit back to that yellow line, the current resistance level. And now looking finally at gold, it is bullish on the day chart, bearish on the 4-hour chart, but I am still bullish on gold. It's just made a retracement. I pulled back, and where it is now is very close to the 50-day moving average, which is at 3330. And that's why I have my buy limit there, expecting it to bounce off of that. However, it could go just slightly below that to the next support level, which is 3309, and that's where it was the previous week. So be cautious initially with this when the market opens, that it could drop below that 50-day moving average just momentarily, all right, and then shoot back up. And I have a take profit on the XAU USD at 3,400. And so that's a wrap for this week, guys, for the weekly analysis starting on the 28th of July, 2025. I hope that these trade setups that I share with you will help you to make a profit with your trading. If they do, or if you have any comments or inquiries at all, leave them below this video. I will get back to you. And if you're totally new to this video, to my YouTube channel, be sure and subscribe to the channel and click that little bell so you'll be notified every time I make one of these videos. So I'll see you again next week, same time. Until then, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others.